Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, thanks for stopping by. My name's Tolu, and on this channel I share content all around personal finance, budgeting, frugal living, and I show you how to live your best life on a budget. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back to watch another video. Okay, so you've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the title, so you know exactly what we're going to be discussing in today's video. 2021 is upon us. It's literally around the corner, and now is the time to really start thinking about the financial goals in which you want to set for the new year. I know for so many of us, we set so many ambitious goals for the start of 2020, and 2020 came and knocked us right off of our feet. But that's not to say that we can't dust ourselves off and try again in 2021. I don't want the craziness of 2020 to put you off setting yourself financial goals for 2021, because I truly believe that by setting these goals, by getting a plan in place, you can really set yourself up in a good position to win with your finances in the new year. So in yesterday's video, I shared the secret to setting financial goals. If you missed that video, then definitely catch up on that one, because it's really going to give you an idea on how to set these financial goals for 2021. But in today's video, what I really want to do is give you some inspiration, give you some idea on different financial goals that you can put in your plan for next year, so that right now, as you're brainstorming, as you're starting to think about what do I want to achieve next year financially, this can get those creative juices flowing and get you thinking about things that you can include on that goal list. Where do you see yourself in 5 years time? 5 years from today, so 2026, where do you want to be? Do you want to be a homeowner? Do you want to be debt free? Do you want to have a certain amount invested in your portfolio? What is the big financial goal in which you're trying to achieve within the next 5 years? Really have a think about where you see yourself financially in the next 5 years, the person you want to be, the position you want to be in, and then you need to work backwards from that end goal. So if you're saying in 5 years time that you want to buy your first house, then you're going to need to start putting things in place right now in order to achieve that goal. Otherwise, 5 years are going to come and go like that, and you're not going to be any closer to achieving that goal. You really want to take that financial goal and break it down into a yearly goal, break that yearly goal down into monthly goals, break that monthly goal down into weekly goals, and then break it down even further into daily goals. And that's going to be a great way for you to actually achieve this financial plan in which you're going to create. Another money goal that you want to set next year is life insurance. Life insurance is not something I've ever mentioned on my channel before, but I believe it's something that's so important that we all need to get in place in order to get our foundation right for our financial futures. It's all good and gravy building a nice house, getting your drive all paved and making everything look fantastic, but if you've built that house on a wobbly foundation, guess what? Life's gonna hit and that house is gonna come crumbling down. So life insurance really is that safety net, that safety blanket to ensure that should the worst happen, your family's okay, your family's taken care of, and everything that you've worked so hard to build isn't gonna come crumbling down. With life insurance, you can get term insurance, you can get whole life cover, there's also critical illness cover, and there's also loss of income cover as well. So there's so many different insurances that if you don't have in place, it will be fantastic to consider getting to ensure that you are protected, your family is protected, and should the worst happen, at least they'll be okay financially. So I'm not trying to be morbid with this video, but another thing to consider when thinking about your finances for the new year is, have you got a will? Should the worst happen, God forbid, what's going to happen to your family? What's going to happen to your assets? What's going to happen to everything that you've been working so hard to build throughout your life? A will definitely ensure that your asset and your legacy and everything you've been building goes to the right place and to the people in which you want it to go to. If you don't have a will and you don't have a plan in place, then that decision is taken out of your hands. As much as we don't like to talk about death and we don't like to talk about things like will, the reality is none of us are immortal. None of us are going to be here forever. We all have our calendar date in which we're going to leave. I'm praying that mine's way in the future. Unfortunately, I don't know that date any more than any of you know that date. So it's important to do what we can today to ensure that our estate and all our assets go to the right places and go to who we want them to go to. Another important money goal to consider making for 2021 is building that emergency fund. I've spoken at length about emergency funds over the past week or so. I've done a couple of videos breaking down what an emergency fund is, why it's so important, how you can build your emergency fund super fast. So if you haven't seen those videos, go ahead and watch those videos after you've watched this one. If today was payday and your employer didn't come through and pay you your money on time, would you be okay for that month without being paid? If the answer to that question is no, then it's time to really consider building that emergency fund and getting some kind of safety blanket in place so that should the worst happen, you're okay financially. 2020 has shown us so much that job security and all of that is a myth, and the worst can happen. Things can happen beyond our control. So we really need to do whatever we can to secure our finances and really get that foundation in place. And one of those foundational things to do is really get that emergency fund going. If you don't currently have any kind of emergency fund in place, then definitely start small. Work towards building a £500 emergency fund, then increase that to £1,000, then increase it to 1,500, and then keep going from there. Set yourself that goal of at least building a starter emergency fund in 2021 so that you start building some kind of financial foundation for yourself. It was only a matter of time before I mentioned the B word, and here I go right now. budgeting. Budgeting. If you don't have a budget in place, definitely consider getting one in place for 2021. And if you already have a budget in place, review that budget for 2021. Are there things you can do to streamline your expenses so that you're saving more money towards your other financial goals? Are there things that you can do to increase your income so that you have more money in order to reach those financial goals as well? Really take a look at that budget. Look back over the last 12 months. How have you done budget wise? Have you been on track with your budget? Have you budgeted for 2,000 and spent 3,000 every month, or vice versa? Are you under budget? Look at how your budget has been over the last 12 months. What has worked well? What hasn't worked so well? What can you change in order to make it work better in the new year? Really review that budget so that in 2021 you really have a budget that works for you and really serves you well and helps you to achieve your financial goals. If you're currently in any kind of consumer debt and you have a job, you have some kind of income, and you're not making more than the minimum debt repayment, then definitely consider setting this as a goal for 2021. Another great money goal to consider for the new year is really adding value to yourself. How can you add value to yourself so that you can increase your earning potential? Are there courses that you can do, skills that you can learn, things that you can do to develop personally to make yourself more of an asset to your employer? So definitely, while you're goal setting for 2021, think about how you can add value to yourself so that ultimately you can be worth more money and make more money in the new year. A really big money goal to make for 2021 is get your money working for you. Get your money to make you more money. And one fantastic way that you can do that is start investing. If you haven't yet started investing, look at different ways that you can start investing your money in order to get a return on that investment. Whatever way you can invest that money in order to get that money working for you passively, definitely make that a goal for 2021. We need to get that money working for us so that we're not always exchanging our time for money in the new year. Do you know who your pension provider is? Do you know how much money is in your pension? Do you know how your pension is currently being invested? If you answered no to any of those questions, set yourself the goal in 2021 to review your pension plan, review who your current service provider is, review how your pension is being invested. Is it being invested the way you'd want it to be invested? Is it time to move your pension to another pension provider if you're able to do so? So definitely look at your pension, look at your pension options, and review this in 2021 to make sure you have the best pension plan in place for yourself moving forward. Start giving. If giving isn't something that you currently incorporate when it comes to your finances, then now's the time to consider setting it as a goal for 2021. Consider giving to charities, to your local church, to friends, to families. By being liberal and being a giver, you're only going to reap the rewards of being so liberal. So the more you give, the more you're actually going to receive. If this isn't something that you currently do, you're stingy when it comes to your money, you can't even borrow somebody £1 if they ask you for it, consider in 2021 to make it a goal and make it a priority to be more liberal. Challenge yourself to find ways to reduce your expenses in the new year. Is your budget currently maxed out? Are you currently living paycheck to paycheck? All the money you receive is being spent every single month? Then consider finding ways to reduce your expenses in the new years. It may mean you're going to have to make some sacrifices that you maybe don't want to make, but it's a short-term pain for a long-term gain. So just consider finding ways to reduce your expenses. It doesn't even have to be something massive. Those little changes do make a significant impact over time if you're consistent with it. Let's say, for example, you have takeaways every week. You spend about £15 on that takeaway. Instead of having that takeaway once a week, change it to once a fortnight. So then that £15 that you're saving every fortnight, put towards your savings goal. If you're doing that every fortnight for 2021, by the end of the year, you're going to have £319 in your account. And that's just by reducing your takeaways from 4 a month to 2 a month. So you're still enjoying it, but just not as much, and you're saving yourself so much more money. So set yourself some kind of financial goals to reduce your expenses and see how much money you're going to be able to save by the end of 2021. If you haven't had a decent pay rise over the last couple of years, then really consider setting this as a financial goal for 2021. Make it a goal to either change roles or see if you can get a promotion at work. Right now, it may not be an option if you haven't been performing at your best. Make it a goal for yourself. In 2021, I'm going to work my butt off for the first 6 months so that my employer can really see the value that I bring to the organization. And after 6 months, I'm going to push for this pay rise. I'm going to push for this promotion. I'm going to put myself forward for a more senior role within the organization. The final idea of a money goal for you to set for 2021 is to invest in yourself. When you hear this as a goal, you might think, what's that got to do with money goals? But really and truly, you are your biggest investment. I am my biggest investment. So it's important that in this new year, we prioritize investing in ourselves. They say health is wealth. So eat well, look after your body, drink more water, cycle, exercise more, reduce your alcohol intake, eliminate things that are going to cause you stress, that are going to bring you anxiety, that are really going to have a negative effect on your overall mood and how you're feeling about yourself. So definitely invest in yourself in 2021, because if you look after yourself, look after your health and well-being, ultimately it's going to save you so much more money in the long run. So there we have it. Those are the 13 money goals in which I would suggest you consider setting for 2021. Let me know in the comment section below if any of them are ones that you're going to try adding to your goal list, or if there's any other goals in which you're considering doing for the new year when it comes to your money matters. Let me know in the comment section below. It'll be interesting to hear what you guys are working towards for the new year and the financial goals which are a priority for you. I'm actually going to be doing a video soon where I share my money goals for 2021. You know I love talking about money, and I'm so open when it comes to talking about my personal finances. So I really don't mind sharing with you guys the goals in which I'm going to be working on financially for the new year. So if that's something that you'll be interested in seeing, then you're going to want to subscribe. If you haven't yet subscribed, then hit the notification bell so that you know when that video comes out. But that's literally it for this video, guys. I hope you were inspired. I hope I've given you some ideas to think about when it comes to setting your money goals for 2021, because what I really want is in the new year for us to really be thriving financially, gain control when it comes to our personal finances, be confident about having conversations about money and managing our money effectively. But that's literally it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for another video. Take care. Bye.